Good morning, boys and girls. Happy Friday. We made it to the end of the week. Got all dressed up for you today, all dressed up and nowhere to go. Now, welcome to today's Reader's Workshop lesson. Yesterday, we talked about what our eyes and what our minds should be doing as we're reading. So let's review a little bit about what reading strategy we learned about yesterday. Okay, now, first things first, we want to keep our eyes and mind on the book. Why is that important? Well, that is important because if our eyes aren't on the page, we lose our spot. And if our mind is not on the page, then we don't really understand what's going on. So let's review yesterday's chart to figure out what we should do when our minds and our eyes are not on the page. First of all, we have to be aware of your attention shifting. Remember, a shift is when your mind kind of changes paths, right? So let's say you're looking at a book and then all of a sudden you're thinking about your birthday party last week. That would be your mind shifting. So we have to, that's okay, I'll fix that later. So we have to pay attention to when our attention is shifting. If our attention does shift, what do? Well, we're going to back up into the book and we are going to reread. That word re in front of the word read means again. So we're going to read again. If you notice your attention shifting often, which means more than once, I want you to try these two strategies. First off, I'd like you to rethink your book choice. If your mind is starting to wander over and over again, that maybe you're not interested in that book. So stop reading that book and pick up a different one. That's okay. We don't have to finish every book we start. And the next thing I want you to do is to rethink your environment. Maybe your mind is shifting because your living room is too loud, or maybe your brother came into the bedroom and distracted you. So you quietly stand up and you find a different spot to practice your reading. Okay? Today we are going to practice something new. But I'm gonna have to take this stuff back up. Give me a second, boys and girls. No, I can't. Mr. Davis is using my tape. So let's see if I can figure this out. I think that's good enough. All right. Sorry about that, boys and girls. So today we are going to be talking a little bit about meaning or comprehension. What does that mean? Well, we want to check in with meaning. I want to make sure that not only are you reading the words on the page, but that you're understanding what you're reading. That is one of the most important things when it comes to reading. Now, we want to make sure our stories are clear, not fuzzy. What does that mean? Clear means that you know who is in the story, what is happening in the story, where the story is taking place. If you cannot answer each of these questions as you are reading, that means that your mind is getting a little fuzzy. That could mean your mind is shifting a bit. So you want to make sure that you stop while you are reading and you ask yourself, who is in the story? What is happening in the story? And where is my story taking place? Let me show you by using the book that we did a read aloud on called Red is Best. If I ask myself, who are the characters in the story? I remember it was Kelly, who's the little girl, and her mom, who kept asking her to try different things. What was happening in the story? Well, Mom was trying to make her use all of these different things that were a different color, that weren't red. And Kelly did not want to use anything that wasn't red because she said that red makes everything better. So I know who was in the story. I know what the story was about. Where did the story take place? Well, it's funny you ask that because in this book, there's actually more than one setting. I know that Kelly was inside of her house, and then I know sometimes she was outside in her yard because I remember her playing with the snow. So boys and girls, today I checked in with my meaning I asked myself, who was the story about? What happened in the story? And where did the story take place? You're going to do the same thing in your independent reading today. You can do it in your own books at home. You can do this strategy on a book from Raz Kids. You can do this strategy on a book from Epic. It's your choice. When you finish doing your independent reading and you pick a book, you are going to open up your Google Docs and you're going to fill out this Google Doc. Let me bring it closer for you to see. Okay? I'm going to call this a book report. Okay? It says comprehension, making the story clear. Who is the story about? What is happening? Where does the story take place? And you're going to answer these 3 questions. Who were the characters? And you're going to type your answer on the line. Where did the story take place? And you're going to type your answer on the line. And what was the book about? You can tell me this in 1 to 2 sentences. And don't forget, up here, you have to tell me your book title, the name of the book that you chose for today. Once you type in your answers, I want you to click mark as done or turned in, and I'll give you some feedback. You have up until Monday to finish this, so we have time. I'll see you in a bit for Writer's Workshop.